Welcome to the Language Podcast. I'm your host, Jada Marie, and we got some things to talk about. PSA, public service announcement, if you don't know what that means. If you don't, that's crazy. But PSA, there are a lot of conversations happening, discussions, arguments, agreements. There's just a lot that has been going on the internet. Um, these things are always going on the internet, but I do feel the need to speak about what I have been seeing. These things do take a toll on me, make me feel some way, but we're here to discuss just us as Black people because I am talking to my Black people when I bring up all of these points. First of all, rest in peace to Nolan Wells. Um, that story that's still developing. I know that people want answers. I know that we just live in a different time where we are able to like dig and find some stuff. But I have seen so many different things being said, whether good, whether bad, whether trying to help, whatever the case may be. And I just feel like there's some things that I want to say, especially to Black people. And then even the Carmelo Anthony situation, I know I didn't speak about that because I did not follow that case. I didn't really know any details until I seen like his sentencing and everything. Um, and I have conversations with people in my life. I talk to them to figure out how they feel about these things. And it always brings me to this point of feeling like as Black people, we are not, I don't know if we think we're progressive. I don't really know what we think, but we are complicated amongst each other. It's hard for us to have certain conversations, which I think leads me to the overall point that I want to make, especially about the Nolan Wells case, because I see people saying like, oh, you need to have a conversation with your kids and just people putting their kids in all white spaces. There are so many different conversations that are coming up that people are having. But us as Black people, I do want us to remember, although other people make it seem like all of our experiences are the same, that we live the same life and are in the same settings, have the same opportunities, all of that. That's not true. Um, it's not true. And I think as parents, I'm not a parent, but parents do what they feel is best for their kids. Parents do the best that they can as parents. And I don't think that it's fair to just sit here and make some of the statements that y'all are making about his parents. Like, she posted a picture with people in the room and they're like, you still, why wasn't he surrounded with those people? Or I guess it was some white people in the picture and people just bringing that up. And I just don't understand why some people feel the need to say the things that they say on the internet. Again, all of our experiences are different. All of us have grown up in different spaces, places. And I think that instead of being quick to judge and say things that you cannot relate to, I think we should just really listen to each other. A lot of people are sharing what it's like for them to be in predominantly white spaces, going to school with all white kids. And I'm always interested in listening to that because I am somebody, I was in a predominantly Black school district from second grade to ninth grade. But then before that, like what, kindergarten to second grade? No, first, I don't even think I went to second grade there. I don't remember. But I was in a predominantly white school district. And then the rest of my high school from 10th grade to 12th grade, uh, I went to a diverse school. When Black Lives Matter was going on with Mike Brown and everything, I did start to see some true colors about, some things going on within my school. But I'm always open to listen to people's experience and what they have went through being, maybe the only Black person, or it not being a handful of Black kids. Luckily, at my school, it was a handful of us. We had a great time. I do like think about some teachers and some things that was said. And, at that age, you really you can't process what's going on or what's happening. But as you get older and you think about it, it's like, that bitch. But anyways, I say all of that to say just listen to each other. Nobody says you have to agree or disagree, but again, everybody's experience is different. Um I'm also seeing that his dad doesn't believe that it was about race. If that is what his family believes, y'all have to allow them to process this and go through this however it is. We were not there. We don't know. And this is when I bring up like the internet can be a blessing and a curse. I'm glad that this case is getting the visibility that it needs to figure out what's going on and what's happening. But also, I need people to kind of let it happen. I know that people feel like things don't happen fairly, but I just feel like when we as Black people are talking about our experiences and things, that we should just hear each other out. We shouldn't be, if you disagree with something, that's fine. But is that your experience? Ask yourself that. Did you experience that? And if you did experience that, how would you have felt in that setting or that situation? So again, the conversations that I do have with some people, I'm not going to say it frustrates me, but it does frustrate me. I'm going to be honest because I am somebody that realizes as Black people, we have to move a certain way. We have to think twice before we do certain things. And all I can sum it up to say, because I don't want to make this long and drawn out, is the shit is not fair. It's not fair. I know that some Black people are like, it is what it is. Like things aren't going to change. And I think that that's something that I struggle with because I'm not saying I want things to change overnight or whatever the case may be, because we know what America is. We know the history. A lot of us are educated, but it just sucks that here we are, 2026, still dealing with this, and some people are just feeling like we just have to let it be. That kind of bothers me a little bit. That whole little spiel that I just had, just show people grace. Listen to people. If you don't want to hear them, if you don't want to hear their experience, you have the option to keep scrolling, to keep going. But just allow this family to really, figure out what they need to figure out in this case. Um, Spin That by Young Miami was a big deal. Um, and I just feel like if we're gonna talk about Spin That and talk about Young Miami, we could talk about Young Miami in so many different ways. How Diddy was on trial, she was pretty quiet, then she pops back up. We could talk about Carisha in that way. Now when it comes to Spin That, I do not think that it's fair for the aunties to be on the internet talking about the music and what it's putting in these children's heads, because I have always been a firm believer when it comes to Megan Thee Stallion, when it comes to Cardi B or any of these rappers or anything that you don't want your kids to be subjected to. That's on you as a parent. Like, you can control what your child hears, what they listen to, and all of that. So for y'all to be like, oh, you're putting these in these little kids' heads, all of that, that's what the parents allow. I know for a fact my mom, I guess she listened to rap music. I've never listened to rap music with my mama, but again, I guess she listened to it when I got out the car. So again, that falls back on the parents. People still have to make music. Don't make it seem like, again, I feel like I've had this conversation on this podcast before. Don't make it seem like y'all didn't have some raunchy music, because y'all did. Uncle Luke, that man was raunchy, okay? So I understand y'all feel like boosting and scamming and all that. Look, do y'all see y'all president? Oh, okay. Like, it's a song. It's a bop. It's catchy. Did I expect it to be, I don't know. I wouldn't even say trending. I don't know what the song is doing, but what some people have to realize is some things start off as a joke. Sometimes we be listening to music and like be like, this is trash, but we like the beat, we like the chorus. And then like the guy on TikTok, I saw him dancing to it. That's what really kind of made me be like, oh, okay, I like it, because I like when he danced to it. And then I was listening to some podcasts where they were like, well, if you speed it up in times two, it's really a bop, because, it should be a faster song. So again, let the aunties be aunties. If you don't listen to the Friend Zone, I highly suggest you go listen to not their most recent episode that came out this week, but last week. And Dustin got that lady together as he should. And that's all that I want to say as my PSA. We focused on all the wrong things. We really are, and I need us to. I don't know. Some of y'all like to engage in that stuff. I don't. It's so draining. It really is. There's so many other things that we could be focused on, talking about. Do I have any ideas? Yeah. Do I want to speak about them right now? No, because I'm just not in that headspace. But that's really, I think, all that I have to say. I think I hit all my points. Let's just show each other some grace. Let's just be nice. If anything, do y'all ever think to ask each other, like, how are you feeling today? Um, Mentally, physically, emotionally, like, ask somebody how they're feeling and just listen to them and ask them, if they say they're sad or they're mad or they're angry, just get to the root of it a little bit, because a lot of us just work, 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 go, 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 come home, eat, sleep, repeat. Ask a friend, how you doing today? Let them just, don't, if you have that capacity. If not, don't offer up anything that you don't have. So that's all I have for y'all. That's the little PSA. My bookies, my bookies, my bookies, my bookies. Y'all, I started Real. I think, no, I didn't tell y'all that. I started Real. I am in a book club with Maya and her sister and a few more people. And I'm excited about this book club because when we read the first couple of chapters, I think when you are reading with a group of people, it really allows you to look at books in a different way. Really like dig deeper into like the meaning of the book or what we're getting from the characters and things like that. And I can't say some of my books, I'm just like reading and I'm like, oh, that was a cool little story. But I don't think that I'm taking it that step further to ask those deep questions to really just dig into what I read. I guess, is it critical thinking? I don't know, but I just feel like with this book club and just reading other people's what they get from the book, what they like about the characters, I really enjoyed that. So I should be finished with Real by the end of the month. I just finished Revive Me Part 3. And when I say just finished, like I just finished, and my eyes got so blurry I couldn't even see the words anymore because that story was the most beautiful story I've read. I'm trying not to get like emotional now, but it's just, it feels like I know these people and they're not even real. They're not real, but I know it's somebody who is or has gone through that. And that story was everything that it needed to be for part 3. If you missed the last episode, it's called Revive Me, but this is part 3 by J.L. Seegers. There is a book before all of those books called Restore Me, and then you have Revive Me Part 1, 2, and 3. And I highly recommend you guys to read that series. Um, I just I don't know what to say right now because like I'm like sitting in what I read, sitting in the happiness that I just feel. Like she really ended that book where I don't need anything else. We got 3 parts. If she gave me a part 4, I would read it. I would read it, but is it needed? No. She did everything that she needed to do, answered every single question, tied everything up with a pretty nice bow. So that's all I got for y'all bookies. As always, if y'all have any book recommendations, if you have any questions or anything about any books that I've read, like do I recommend it or whatever, I guess let me know. But most of the time I do have that stuff on my Instagram. You can go to other episodes. I always share what I'm reading. And let's get into this topic. Let's get into the topic. I want to talk about the anti-inflammatory trend slash lifestyle that we have been seeing. I don't know if y'all been seeing it, but I've been seeing it. And to be honest, I am not a trendy girl. I don't care what's trending. I do what I want to do at my own pace. And 9 times out of 10, if it's trending, I will probably do it when it's not trending anymore just because I want to be my own person. I don't know what just fell, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. Um, I just want to talk about this anti-inflammatory diet lifestyle because it is something that I have done research on. It is something that in the beginning I thought it was one thing, but then as I did my research, I learned that it was something else. So I shared with y'all last week that I have been 8 months sober, and with that has come some weight gain. And I just have been trying to figure out like the food situation. So at the beginning of the year, I did a fast with like zero added sugar because zero sugar is kind of impossible. You actually need sugar to have energy. And so when I am on the internet, I just look to find recipes, eat better. I don't really hop on like the matcha trend or what other trend did y'all have, like the sweet potato with the ground turkey and all of that. Like I I'm pretty aware of what I should and what I can't eat, but like I said, there's always room to do better. So when it comes to anti-inflammatory, I don't know if people are like, what is this? Trying to figure out like what is it about. So basically, when I did my research, anti-inflammatory inflammation in the body is actually normal. If you have let me get this right. I think if you have the inflammatories that are working, they basically help your body to heal, to fight off diseases. It becomes an issue when the inflammation like lasts for a long time. It lingers. It becomes chronic. It can cause other like illnesses and diseases. If I'm wrong, let me know, but that's what I got from my research. I say all of this to say that anti-inflammatory, I want to use lifestyle more than diet because it's not really a diet, it is a lifestyle. It's a lot of things that are kind of intertwined to have this anti-inflammatory lifestyle. So the things that I researched that go hand in hand with anti-inflammatory will be like cortisol levels and then gut health. So with cortisol, I have to look up cortisol because I like coffee. And what some people don't realize, and I tell anybody who's like, I want to drink coffee, I'm always like, please do not drink coffee on an empty stomach. Make sure you eat food. Make sure you drink water because some people, y'all just get straight up and just drink coffee, and that's not good. That throws off your cortisol levels. So sometimes you could be bloated in your stomach. Um, you could be tired. There is a lot of side effects of high cortisol levels. So if you feel like that's something that you might be experiencing, and it doesn't just come from caffeine, but look it up, see what it means. I feel like if you are looking for anti-inflammatory lifestyle, it helps with high cortisol. High cortisol levels also go with the sleep that you're getting. That's also a part of the anti-inflammatory lifestyle. You need 7 to 9 or 7 to 8 hours of sleep. You need to move your body at least 30 minutes a day. So it's not just all about the foods that you eat. It's about like what you do on the day-to-day basis. Um, I don't know if I've talked to y'all about gut health. I like researching gut health. Greek yogurt is good for your gut health. Kombucha, anything fermented, kimchi, sauerkraut, things like that. Kefir, and y'all do not go to the store and just go and pick this stuff up and eat it, and then come to me and be like, "Bitch, that was nasty," because I know. Greek yogurt it's not for everybody. Some people do cottage cheese. It's not for me. It's not for me. I know that y'all like this brand called Good Culture because y'all say it doesn't taste like cottage cheese. I'm still not there. So I'm a Greek yogurt girly. I keep it really basic. I put honey and berries in my Greek yogurt. I don't do all the flavors because I try to stay away from the sugars. Um, so again, don't go into this lifestyle, this diet, whatever you want to call it. Do not cut off everything that you eat and everything that you do and try to start over new. I think that that will discourage you. I think that that makes it harder. And so when it comes back to anti-inflammatory, when I did my research, I first off kind of looked at like, okay, what are foods that are anti-inflammatory or what are things that are inflammatory? So you got processed foods, fried foods, bread, cake, snacks, stuff like that. We know this. Certain oils, all of that. And then you kind of get into what's anti-inflammatory. Again, when I did my research, if you are looking for like a certain diet, it is said that the Mediterranean diet is the best for anti-inflammatory. You have the olive oils, you have the chicken, you have the way that the food is prepared, just the freshness, the greens, the vegetables, those are the things that you are really going to look for when it comes to anti-inflammatory. And so my suggestion, like I said, don't just cut things off cold turkey and then try to switch over. Try to incorporate things slowly. So for breakfast, if you already eat eggs, just think about how you can eat your eggs different. I put an example in the blog. I listed two different meals that you can cook for breakfast. So go over to my Good Mess blog. It's nothing in great detail. It's literally two little ideas, but some other stuff that I can throw out there, not necessarily meals, but if you like oatmeal, you could do oatmeal, you could do berries, again, Greek yogurt, and I know we got a parasite going around. I promise I had this episode ready before all of this, but just be mindful of washing your fruit, or I guess like cooking it. I really don't know. I buy my fruit frozen because I feel like every I don't eat fruit fast enough and it goes bad and I hate wasting money. So, um back to what I was saying, when it comes to breakfast, just look up little things like that's simple, that's quick. When it comes to lunch and dinner, we could tie those in because it's all about the herbs that you actually use. So things that I had to buy to add to my anti-inflammatory lifestyle, and I'm not 100% perfect. I'm not saying that. This is work in progress, week 3, and I still be eating out. I still be eating my fried food, but it's just about the try that counts. Turmeric is good for like seasoning your food. Ginger root. What's another one? I think cumin. Yeah, cumin is good. And I could really just pull up the list. I mean, it's off of Pinterest. I really don't like Pinterest no more. It's turning into AI, just like Instagram is turning into AI. I need y'all to stop using those AI flyers. It says something went wrong. Did something log me out of my Pinterest? 2 seconds. The heck? Okay. Because I don't want to be rambling. And I want to make this, simple to understand, simple to follow. Again, I'm not perfect. I'm not an expert. If anybody knows anything, y'all know I'm open to, talk about it, figure it out. But with the herbs and spices, it says basil, black pepper, cayenne pepper, cilantro, cinnamon, ginger, rosemary, parsley, oregano, thyme, turmeric. I said turmeric. But those are like the herbs and spices that you can season your food with. I know that gets hard. It gets hard for me because I still use seasoned salt. I know some of y'all be like, that's not good. I don't give a damn. Sometimes I need that. I need to shake it on there. I don't do it often. I will sometimes, like when I do veggies and certain stuff, I use regular salt. But those things help. And so I just want to share with you guys some things that I changed within my diet to try to make it a little bit more anti-inflammatory, okay? Because some stuff I'm just not getting rid of. Coffee. Um, I do drink my coffee after my meal, but I like a little bit of creamer, like a splash of creamer. And also, I'm trying to use a creamer that I already have in my fridge because I bought it and it's not going to go to waste. And cinnamon in your coffee actually helps with the sugar that's within your creamer. I know cinnamon does not really mix well in your coffee, but just stir it up, okay? Just stir it up. It gives it a little, I don't know, seasonal type of vibe. Fall is what it reminds me of, but it's actually really good. Cinnamon is good for you. And so, if you're somebody that is looking to do better when it comes to coffee, I know some of y'all like to get lattes and like to get all that sweet stuff, and y'all probably really don't like the taste of coffee. Um, Being healthy don't taste good. It just doesn't taste good. So you can cut back a little bit on the creamer, like don't pour as much. Don't get all the sweet stuff, the super, what the cookies and cream latte, the fruity pebble latte. try an Americano with like half and half, um, and maybe like a splash of creamer. Now, if you go to coffee shops, here's where things get a little tricky because the syrups that they use are not good for you. Point blank, period. Um, they're just not good for you. I don't like the taste of the syrup. Sometimes I just get it because I need my coffee to get me going in the morning. But most of those syrups that they use are inflammatory, and not good for you. So that's something that I did differently. Like I said, I seasoned my food a little differently, but just do your research when it comes to anti-inflammatory and do what's best for you. It's literally not like a diet. You could look up anti-inflammatory foods, but something I have learned, you will be kind of eating the same thing. Because I was eating chicken, zucchini, rice, black beans, spinach. Like, I was like, all right, I need something a little different. Something else that I do different, instead of using like heavy cream or half and half, I use coconut milk. Coconut milk sometimes does have that little a hint of sweetness to it, even when you do get the unsweetened one, but just season it. Like, season it. Play around in the kitchen. You're not going to be perfect, but a little goes a long way of at least showing up and trying to do different. Um I'll check in with y'all and let y'all know how it's going, because it's not easy. I didn't say it was easy. I'm not here to tell y'all no lies. I just didn't know if anti-inflammatory is like popping up on your TikTok, on your Instagram. A lot of people are going into the stores and just showing you, what's inflammatory. And to be honest, if you pick up stuff that has less ingredients, you'll be good. If you're somebody who eats a lot of whole foods, you will be good. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all heard like shop the perimeter of the grocery store, not in the aisles. That's a good way to start. Again, I know we got the parasite going on, but just do the best that you can. Pray over your food. They are trying to, attack us any way that they can. 1 minute when they know we're trying to do good, then they want to come and mess with the produce and everything. But just do the best that you can. I know it's hard. It feels like damned if we do, damned if we don't in America. It's always something. I get it. I do. Um, just wake up. Set a goal for that day to at least try, and if it don't work that day, try again the next day. If it don't work that day, you get what I'm saying? Just keep showing up for yourself, and one day it'll work, one day it'll click, one day you'll be like, "Ooh, I feel better." One day you'll be like, I don't know how I feel." But show yourself grace. It's not easy to build habits. It's not easy to change over your lifestyle, but once you do, I'm pretty sure that you will thank yourself and it will be worth it in the end. So, hopefully, I maybe informed you a little bit about just anti-inflammatory. Again, not a diet, more like a lifestyle. You can focus on your gut health. You can focus on your cortisol levels. Um, get outside, go for a walk, just move your body. I'm pretty sure most of y'all that listen to this podcast, we are at that age. We're there. We're there. But we can't just blame everything on the age, okay? Like, you got to do the work too. Because it's some people out here that are looking a little bit older and fine. I don't want to call y'all old, but y'all older and fine. So that's all I really have as far as the topic. Please, if you have any questions, if you have anything that you want to add to this anti-inflammatory lifestyle conversation, if you have things that you want me to research to figure out, email me. Put it in the comments on Instagram. Put it in the review in the comments or the reviews, whatever it is, where you listen to your podcast. I love that. I will respond. And yeah, that's all that we have for anti-inflammatory for the topic. Music and TV. I have not watched anything new. Still watching the morning show. I'm on the last season. Still watching The Shy. I'm over it. When I tell you I'm just showing up, I'm just showing up. I think this hands down is the worst season ever. I don't like Tiff. Nothing can make me like her. And I'm just going to move on from that. Let's get into music, because at first I thought I didn't have anything for music, but I do. But I do. It's a song that I heard from like a TikTok trend, and it's called Ghetto Love Story by Baby Chief Do It. Yeah, that's my shit. I like that song. And then he's 17, he's young, but his voice does not match him. From some other snippets of his music that I heard, he seems to be a talented rapper, but that Ghetto Love Story, that's my shit. That is my song. Like, I enjoy that song. Um, I have been listening to Ray again. I had to run her back because I did watch the BET Awards. And when that woman performed, I said, yeah, let me go run that album back because her vocals immaculate. Her being on that stage and it just seems effortless for her to get them notes out. I think that's the right word. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. She is talented. And that kind of led me to watch certain things on YouTube. There's something called, I think, like Abby's, don't start me to lying, but it's her singing live. I've been watching the front port. I watched Melanie Fiona, Ari Lennox. I don't know who else, but I just, I'm sorry, guys, get over it. I just been kind of clicking on stuff on YouTube, just kind of listening to people sing live. Um, Coco Jones has a new song out now. It is called Body So Tea. I thought that it would be a little different than what it is. I'm not mad at it. I like this song better than Taste. She did like put out a video on her Instagram kind of saying like talking about how she feels as an artist. Like she really doesn't know what she's doing. She really doesn't know what she wants to give as far as music. And when her album Why Not More came out, I think that's what it's called. When that album came out, I did listen to it. It wasn't a no skips for me, but there was a lot of songs that came from that album. Even to this day, when songs play from her album, like I think one of her songs was in the Shy just last week, and I was like, okay, but this is her trying to like promote her music. But regardless, I like to hear her thoughts about how she feels about her music, and honestly, listening to her, I want to know what kind of music is it that you want to put out, because like she said, she can sing. That's one thing she knows, she can sing, but it's all about, I guess, like what we want to hear or what she thinks that she is good at. But R&B is good. I mean, if she wants to go into the pop lane, hey, everybody starts somewhere. People do R&B, they do pop, they do all of it, and I think that she has the potential. Um but yeah, we got to see another video of her kind of telling the people that she was like in the studio with or just listening to the Body So Tea song that like, do y'all really like it? And they like, if they gonna listen, they gonna listen. Like you giving vocals, you giving this, like she's giving the best of both worlds. And if you like Coco, you will support her no matter what she puts out. And even if you don't really care for it, you'll listen to it one time and be like, no, this is not for me. But she has something that's for you. So I listened to her new song. And then I just got some albums on my radar that I need to listen to that I have not listened to. Jazz Karis, I think that's how you say her last name. I don't know. One of my UK girlies, she has a new EP out called 20 something. And then Baby Rose released a new album. I'm late. Like she released this album, I feel like what, July 10th it said. What was that, last week? Was it last week? July is flying, y'all. Yeah, maybe I'm not that late. She released it on the 10th, on Friday. It's called Urinalism. So I am going to listen to those two projects and just see how I feel about them. Baby Rose has a different kind of tone, different type of voice. I really like her. She has a song with Leon Thomas that I enjoy. Well, she was on Leon Thomas' album. She has a song with somebody else that I like. I don't think it's Leon. Let me see real quick. It's a newer song. And let me see. Y'all ain't got nothing else to do but listen to me talk anyway. And yes, I know this episode is late. Oh, it's called Friends Again. Okay, it is Leon Thomas. Yeah, I like that song. So that is all that I have for y'all this week. Um, I do, like I said last week, I do want y'all to follow me on Instagram because I will be asking y'all, like, do you want the podcast to be about this or that type of thing? And if you don't pick, then I'm just going to pick because I told y'all it ain't never no issue for me to talk. And in order to just be a part of that conversation or feel like you're being able to choose what you listen to on the podcast, go follow me on Instagram at its_JMarie, 2 E's. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, anything, email me at itsjmarie, 2E's9 at gmail.com. And again, I just really want to thank y'all for listening. I do want to thank y'all for the love that y'all showed me on my last podcast clip just about my sobriety, I think. I think sometimes we don't realize how big some of our accomplishments is. It seems really small. It just seems like, oh, okay, I finally like overcame this, but it's something to be proud about. And I just want to thank y'all for y'all kind words. And that's all I got for y'all. I will talk to y'all later. I love y'all. No. Make sure y'all go watch on YouTube. I know some of y'all prefer to watch versus listen. I do feel like last episode was more like visual. I feel like I was giving a lot of visuals more than anything. So go on YouTube. It's J Marie or _J Marie. I'll put it in the description. And then y'all know my blog, The Good Mess. I have a blog post about the books that I've read so far. And then just talking a little bit more about eating better, being sober, and then just the weight gain. Kind of a little bit of what I said here, but a different take. So again, y'all have options. Go follow me on Instagram. Go subscribe to my blog. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave a comment, leave a review. Share this with your friends and family. And I love y'all. Bye.